So when we last left Japan, they were still under feudalism. They still had a shogun that was calling the shots. And we had that feudal social class. And they're going to be that way until the late 1800s when Matthew Perry comes in and opens up trade with Japan to the United States. No, not that Matthew Perry from Friends. Admiral Matthew Perry. So the event that's going to really change Japan from a feudalist society to an imperialist society is going to be known as the Meiji Restoration. And this is when the Emperor Meiji, takes back power from the shogun, because remember, he was more of a figurehead in feudalism, takes back power from the shogun and sets up kind of a constitutional parliamentary system in Japan. We have a Japanese parliament known as a Diet, and we see that the emperor serves as having executive power. Japan starts Westernizing. They start copying a lot of the trends of Western Europe in order to keep from becoming conquered by imperialist powers. One way is that they start industrializing. They abolish the guilds, which protect local artisans so that they can kind of centralize industry under the government. They institute a railroad system, and they establish land reforms. We also see a lot of social reforms going on in Japan at this time. We start seeing better nutrition and more medical advancements, and that's going to influence population growth. We start seeing a universal education system in Japan that stresses science. Women work in factories now, much like in Western Europe, though it is still very much a patriarchal society. We also see people in Japan copy the fashions of Western Europe, calendar, hygiene practices, like using a toothbrush. We also see Buddhism losing ground, losing influence at this time, which again, we kind of see that trend of religion losing power just kind of around the world. As far as foreign policy goes, Japan becomes the dominant force in the East, and they're going to start having a policy of imperialism much like Britain and France, and they're going to conquer areas and have colonies themselves. And Japan will continue to be the dominant force in the East and a world power until the end of World War II. And even after that, they still remain on the world stage. And today, Japan is very much on the world stage. So again, we went from a feudalist system to a modern government that is industrialized and a world power in a matter of years in Japan. Whereas it took Europe like 500 years to do that. And so it would be like if you all of a sudden grew an extra foot in a year. It's just that much progress. And so we're going to see how Japan becomes a world player and what they're going to do. So I'll see you next time.